Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Narayanam Namaskritya, Naram Chaiva Narottamam, Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Bhagavati Uttama Shloke, Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the person of God Narayana, unto Narayana, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. By regular attendance in his classes of the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of God, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yonta Pravishya Mamavaja Imam Prasuptam Sanjeevayati Akhila Shakti Darasvatamna Anyam Sahastra Charana Shravanatvagadin Prana Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam तस्मादगम्यकृतविक्लमहीश्वरस्य सर्वात्मना मयि गृह्णामि यथा मनीषम् नीचो जया गुणविसर्ग अनुप्रविष्टः उयेत येन हि पुमान् अनुवर्णितेन ओम शिवदाय ओम शिवदाय कृष्णमशाय नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवान् विचारणे रुजय शोनाथ पश्यामि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु हरे कृष्ण 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 Thank you very much, brother. So we are reading from third canto, 25th chapter, 42nd verse. This is what's spoken by Lord Kapila to Devavati Mata. So I'll recite the verse without wasting much time. Madbhayat vati vatoyam suryastapati madbhayat vashatindro dakati agnir mrityus vashatindro dakati agnir mrityus charati madbhayat madbhayat vati vatoyam suryastapati madbhayat vashatindro dakati agnir mrityus charati madbhayat madbhayat out of fear of me. Vati blows. Vata wind. I am this. Surya sun. Tapati shines. Madbhayat out of fear of me. Varshati showers rain. Indra. Takati burns. Agni fire. Mrityu death. Charati goes. Madbhayat out of fear of me. It is because of my supremacy that the wind blows out of fear of me. The sun shines out of fear of me. The Lord of the clouds, Indra, sent forth showers out of fear of me. Fire burns out of fear of me. The death goes about taking its toll out of fear of me. Purport. By His divine grace, A.T. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of God and Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, natural laws being enacted or correct in all activities because of His superintendence. No one should think that nature is working automatically without superintendence. Vedic literature says that the clouds are controlled by the demigod Indra. Heat is distributed by the sun god. The soothing moonlight is distributed by Chandra. The air is blowing under the arrangement of demigod Vayu. Oh, all these demigods, the Supreme Personality Godhead, is the chief living entity. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Tetanam. Katha Upanishad 2.2.30. The demigods are also ordinary living entities, but due to their faithfulness, their devotional service attitude. The demigods are also ordinary living entities, but due to their faithfulness, their devotional service attitude, that which we have to be very careful in that. They have been promoted to such posts. These different demigods are directors such as Indra, Varuna, and Varuna, Chandra, Varuna, and Vayu are called Adhigari Devata. The demigods are departmental heads. The government of the Supreme Lord consists not only of the one planet, two or three. There are millions of planets and millions of universes. The Supreme Personality of God is a huge government and it requires assistance. The demigods are considered as bodily limbs, and these are the description of the Vedic literature. Under these circumstances, the sun god, the moon god, the fire god, the air god is all working under the direction of the Supreme Lord. It is confirmed Maya Dakshina Prakriti, Suite Characharam. Natural laws are being conducted under the Supreme Lord. Because he is in the background, everything is being performed punctually and regularly. One who takes shelter, one who has taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is completely protected from all other influences. He no longer serves or is obliged to anyone else. Of course, he is not disobedient to anyone, but he has full power of thought, is absorbed in the service of the Lord. Statements by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Kapila that under direction, air is blowing, the fire is burning, the sun is giving heat, are not sentimental. The Emperor says that Bhagavatam devotees create and imagine someone as a Supreme Personality Godhead, assign qualification to it. Actually, it is neither an imagination nor imposition or artificial power in the name of God. The Vedas, it is said, Bhishma, Bisha, Masmat, Vata Bhavate, Bisotiti Surya. By the fear of Supreme Lord, the wind god, sun god are acting. Bhishma, Agnis, Chandra, Cha, Mrityu, Davati, Panchama. Agni, Indra, and Mrityu are also under this direction. These are all statements of Vedas. Okay, Hare Krishna. So it is mentioned that Vedas in the are given by Lord directly by Krishna, not by normal mundane entity. And therefore, these are all aparusha. Aparusha means there is no defect. In fact, whatever produced by the man made, these are all four defects. We know, no, we because of imperfect senses, we commit mistakes, and because we commit mistakes, we have the cheating propensity, and since we have the cheating propensity, we are in illusion. We know about it. Now, here in this purport, it's very important that we concentrate last week the service attitude, and then we saw the service attitude of wonderful service attitude of Nityananda Prabhu, who is a savior Bhagavan, who is serving Krishna as a Lakshmana, as Balrama, as Nityananda, how we served, especially to deliver the Jagai and Matai. And also, you must understand, we think we are better than Jagai and Matai, but that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu warned in the Chaitanya Bhagavata that these two people are liberated by me, and therefore they are Mahabhagavatas, and therefore they are acting according to me. And therefore, every thing which is mentioned in the Purana, scriptures, Chaitanya Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, these pictures, they may act according to the will of the Lord in an opposite way, but that does not mean that they are not devotees. They are all devotees only. Because of Krishna's mercy, they are acting. And therefore, we should not downgrade them that we are better than Hiranyakashipu, we are better than Jagai Matai and all. Because we must know that Jagai Matai was able to get relief, but we have been hearing Krishna Katha for so many times. Nityananda glanced only once and he got liberated. So now the very important point which we have to understand is the devotional service attitude. This is what we have to see. Um, so before seeing this, I want to say that usually here this verse talks about the supremacy of Krishna. So we will speak about the supremacy of Krishna. It is mentioned nicely in the 12th canto, 13th chapter, first verse. Beautiful verse. This is spoken by Sutta Goswami. It is in the Srimad Bhagavatam lyric. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rutta Maruta Stunmanti Divyaistave Vede Sangapada Krama Pashadai Krama Po Nishadai Gayantiyam Samaga Dhyanavastitadagatena Manasa Pashyantiyam Yogina Yasyantam Navidu Sura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. It says, Sutta Goswami says, unto the personality of God in whom Brahma, Varuna, Indra, and Rudra and Maruts praised by chanting the transcendent hymns and reciting the Vedas with all their corollaries, Pada Kramas and Upanishads, to whom the chanters of Sama Vedas always sing, whom the perfect yogis see within their minds, after fixing themselves in trance and absorbing themselves within him, whose limit can never be found. Krishna here says, can never be found by any demigod or demon, than to the Supreme Personality offer my obeisances. So this is what we have to understand, that Krishna is the Supreme and this is being glorified by all the demigods. So that Krishna is, and that's what Krishna wants to emphasize to Devahuti Mata, that everything is happening according to him. Because he is the Purusha Pradhana Ishvara. He says in the previous verse, Purusha Pradhana Ishvara. Let me himself says. So in the previous verse 3:25-41. Therefore, he wants to establish what is the meaning of Purusha Pradhana Ishvara. So how he is the source of everything and he wants to establish the supremacy to Devahuti Mata. Now we'll go into, we have discussed about the wind. Okay. So before we discuss about the wind, let us see one, especially regarding Krishna. We discussed about that devotional service attitude. And then we discussed from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Seva Ananda. Just because Nityananda was mainly appeared to taste, the Krishna Seva Ananda, to taste the Krishna service. So that is, and bliss he wants to enjoy while serving Krishna. That's what we have the bliss also. We serve our wife, we serve our children, we prepare prasadam without expecting anything from them. We give them the education, we give them the knowledge, everything we give them everything. But we don't expect, we give them the marriage, we spend so much of money, but we don't expect anything from any of them. Correct? And this we do out of, and we derive so much pleasure in doing this. We have Ananda. Opposite our house, there was a newly born baby. And then she was so tired and all. But she says, I'm very happy to serve my son, serve my daughter. Because they feel because they are serving their own child. And therefore, we have to derive the transcendental service of our supreme child is Krishna. So that's what we have to do. So here we are seeing the Nityananda Prabhu and so many devotees are serving. Now, Krishna himself was serving nicely. We can see how nicely. Actually, it was in the Aswamedha, sorry, in the Rajasuya Yajna is being arranged in the Mahabharata. It is nicely described that everything was arranged. How Krishna's service attitude. He was deriving pleasure. Just like we are deriving we are trying to derive pleasure by serving Krishna. But here, Krishna is also deriving pleasure from the service that he is rendering to his devotees. So it is mutual. It's not one way. He's a sentient human being. Because somebody serves me and becoming happy, they are becoming happy. I also want to serve and get that happiness. And that is the reason he wants to enjoy the bhakti. And then he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then took the form of golden avatar in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is the point we have to understand, and therefore we can see the best example in the this Rajasuya exam. So what has happened? Everybody was sitting there and they were discussing who is supposed to be made the Agra Puja. Agra Puja means one who is given the first preference and has to be worshipped before the start of the Rajasuya exam. So everything was discussed, and Bhishma Deva recommended that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, should be done the Agra Puja. So everything was decided, and then Bhishma Dev requested what are the services to be done. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj said, asked Yudhishthira Maharaj said, even though I am the king, I would request you to manage the entire affairs. So he gives the delegation to Dronacharya and Bhishma Dev, and they delegate all the people to arrange the whole Rajasuya. And then everybody was given services. And then Krishna was looking, and then he was seeing everybody is engaged in service, and he is just roaming around. So he was very upset. He said, I don't have any service in this process. In this yajna, I don't have. I'm just there being worshipping me. He feels embarrassed. So he says, I have to do some service. In our case, what we do, somebody doesn't give service, what we'll do? We'll just watch how this person is कैसे माप डालता है कैसे झाड़ू पोछा करता है अब से देखते हैं we enjoy. But here Krishna is feeling guilty that he is not able to do any service. Everybody is doing service, I am not able to. So Krishna had that desire, and then he goes and approaches Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj said, "This is an aparad. How can I expect service from you?" Just like, if we remember the past time, I think Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, I don't know. Jay Keshav can confirm that he was reading Bhagavatam or something. He was serving Krishna nicely. He was meditating on Krishna in the open sun in Vrindavan. At the time, Radharani came and put her pallu as a covering to cover the sunshade. So at the time, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami asked Raghunath Das Goswami that why you are doing like this? Why you are taking services from Radharani? So that's why Yudhishthira Maharaj was feeling that I should not take service from Krishna. So he said, no, you do not have to do. You just sit and enjoy all the work. Akar Puja, we will worship you. And that's what he did. Krishna became very embarrassed, and then he didn't talk to him. He went and he took one of the menial service. He went and said, I will wash the lotus feet of all the devotees who comes into the Agra for this year, this yajna. And then he was worshipping, he was putting the water on his head. Can you imagine? So that means this is because he doesn't have any ego. Anankrate. Anankrate, it is mentioned in Bhagavatam 1:9:21 in Bhishma. Bhishma is qualifying Krishna. Is one of the qualities of Krishna, transcendental qualities, that he doesn't have any even iota of ego. And therefore he is ready to do serve anything. And then he derives so much pleasure. Krishna Seva Ananda. And then Krishna is deriving pleasure on this service to his devotees. Bhakti Seva Ananda. We say Krishna Seva Ananda. Krishna says Bhakta Seva Ananda. I serve the Bhaktas and I become Ananda. So that is his beauty. So Krishna Seva Ananda is there. Bhakta Seva Ananda is there for Krishna. Krishna derives answers of Krishna. So this word is not there in Bhagavatam. This is my own statement. It may be true, may not be true. So this is how we should understand that Krishna is willing to serve, and then he is ready to do any time, any type of service. That's what we have to understand. That's why you can see in the Varaha Avatar, he appeared because Brahma was contemplating. The Varaha pastime was there, no? He was contemplating, and then he came from the nose. And then he didn't feel that I have come from the nose. I have taken the form of boar, which is obnoxious animal. No, he didn't say it because his body is transcendental. Swambhavami Atmamaya. His body is transcendental. And therefore, He's ready to do. He has to take out the slush. The earth was submerged in the slush and the gutter of Garbhodaka abortion. He has to take it out and put it out. And therefore, he doesn't bother taking the form of a boar. And therefore, a devotee also should get the same qualities. Issa said, Bhakte Bhagavate Akinchana. So we have to get all the qualities of the devotee of Krishna. And therefore, and that's why we should always try to do any menial service. So no service is all the services of devotion service is absolute. And that's what we have to understand from the pages of Bhagavatam. This is what we have to put it in our mind. Otherwise, what we do, we think that this service is inferior. No. If you are hearing Krishna Katha, this is also transcendental. A person offering bhog to Jagannath Baladev, that is also transcendental. Everything is transcendental. Even Jadu Pocha, everything is transcendental. That's what we have to understand from the basis of Bhagavatam. And that's what Krishna is absolute. Otherwise, what is the meaning of absolute? The absolute word doesn't have any meaning. So that's why we have to understand this. Now we'll go to the Vata Vata, that Krishna is in control of the wind. And this wind, we know, is so powerful. And also this wind, um, uh, wind, because it is obeying, such faithful. Prabhupada writes in the purport, the demigods or administrative demigods are working under the control of Krishna, the chairman of the whole universe, multiple universes. So he is in charge for this entire universe, chairman. And then these people are working as administrative demigods, administrative managers to execute the will of Krishna. And therefore, Prabhupada writes in this purport, is faithful and it is very punctual in doing their duties. That's what we discussed last week. So the faithfulness is very important. And therefore, you can see, because they are very faithful, they acquire the qualities of Krishna. Because they are faithful, they acquire the qualities of Krishna. And faithful and rendering services without any expectation. More than the fear, Krishna says they are doing out of fear, but they are doing out of love. Because the sun rises in the morning, the Agni burns, they never lose their original nature at all. They do their activities perfectly. And then death also takes the life of the people. So they do it out of love and devotion and faith and implicit love they have for Krishna, and they do the service without any expectation. And therefore, what has happened? Krishna says, since you are doing my service so wonderfully, I give you the transcendental qualities. And that's what we can see in the wind. Wind is also a guru. There is a nice verse in 11, 7, 40, and 41. It's one of the 24 guru. He says, Avishanyogi Nana Dharmeshu Sarvataha Gunadoshamapetatma Na Visejeta Vayuvat Parthiveshu Hya Degeshu Ravistat Gunashaya Gunair Yana Vichate Yogi Gander Vayurivatmadrit. Even a transcendental is surrounded by innumerable material objects, a devotee, which possesses good and bad qualities. However, one has transcended. That means one who has transcended the modes of material nature, good and evil, should not become entangled, even in contact with the material objects. You should act like the wind. Although a self-realized soul may live in the various material bodies, while in this world, experiencing the various qualities and functions, he never entangled. Just like, the wind is never entangled. It will goes over the gutter and then gets the smell. And then goes somewhere, fragrance of the flood. So it doesn't get entangled. And then Prabhupada writes, Maharaj says very nicely, we may be in the material world, but should be of the material world. We should not be. We may be in the material world, but we should not be. What is that? Beautiful verse in the Bhagavad Gita, Padma Patra Vyamasa. Brahmanya Adaya Karmani Sangam Tattva Karodena. Lipate na papena. Lipate na papena means nothing touches us. Padma Patra Vyamasa. So this is the beauty of Krishna. I'm the real devotee. So we can acquire the qualities of wind. And that's why Prahlad Maharaj acquired the qualities of Narada. And he was so powerful. And he was able to liberate all the demons. So powerful. And even Dhruva was also become a powerful devotee. Because they acquired all the qualities of a guru. And guru has taken from Krishna and given to him, got it him and he gave it to them. So that's why the transcendental qualities are given in distinct succession from Krishna to all the devotees. That is the beauty we have to understand. And that's why winds acquire the qualities. So, and that's why we have to understand that how we should live in this world. That's why we should not take it to the hand that somebody tells wrong, somebody appreciates. We should not become on the top. We should not go into the top of the world. And somebody puts us down. We should not keep it as a mark in our head, and then deter in our devotion service. Because people say so many things, good and bad. Naturally, 90% of the time, people tell you bad things only. Just ignore, and our route is Tadvita Nachalite Marga. We should not leave our path. and go on Krishna consciousness. This is very important for us to understand from the wind how it goes through the dirty things, but it not get attached. The same way we have to go through the material life, but at the same time we should be completely detached. It's not so easy, yeah. It's very easy to speak, very difficult to practice. And this comes from the mercy of Krishna. The taste, the Seva Ananda, everything comes from the mercy of Krishna. And that's why the mercy also, Radhanath Maharaj is saying one of the lectures, that we have to beg for the mercy, Krishna's mercy. Develop this service attitude, to develop develop these transcendental qualities. These qualities are given as a gift from Krishna. There's a gift from Krishna. It is not, we cannot acquire the qualities by our own material and spiritual endeavors. By jnana or vijnana, we cannot realize. It is a process given by Krishna because of our sincere endeavor. And therefore, we should beg the mercy of Krishna and the acharyas so that they can transfer those qualities to us, so that one day we can develop the quality of the wind. But by our Bhakti. Now we will go to Surya. Sun Tapati, Surya Tapati, Matpayat. So, can you anyone tell me that the sun shines? The same verse, the same type of verse is there in the Bhagavad Gita. Anybody can tell me in the Bhagavad Gita? It is in the famous chapter also. Anybody can tell? Anybody remembers?
Krishna says he is sun among the stars or something like that.
That is one. No, he talks about this. That is one of the qualities. No, he talks about the splendor. Here he talks about shines. Surya Tapati. Tapati means he's also talking about the same Tapati. Not the same Tapati he speaks about.
That is a 15th chapter.
Yes. Yet Adityo Katamilyo, Jagat Bhashate Kilam, Echante Echagno, Tattechi Buddhi Mamakam. He says, from me comes, I dissipate the whole darkness because the splendor of the sun comes from me, the splendor of the moon comes from me, the splendor of fire, splendor, all the splendors of fire, everything comes from me. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. So this is also very important. And also, sun is also one of the gurus as per Srimad Bhagavatam 24th canto, because they are obedient to Krishna every day. They are waking up and then they are doing their job without any expectation, nirapeksha. So that's why they are also become the sun. The sun gets the qualities of the Krishna. Apapaviddham. Apapaviddham means the sin does not touch. He goes to the gutter, he goes to the stool, he goes to the water, gutter water, and he absorbs the water and goes up and gives the good rain. So he will take the good qualities. He will take the water only and he will not take the gutter. So that is why we have to take the good from everywhere. Even if it is the gold is put in the gutter, we take the gold and wash it and take it. And therefore we should see the good qualities in everybody. And that is the nature of the sun. And sun is teaching us that it takes the essence and then goes away. And then it purifies us. Because the sun does not get polluted at all. Even it absorbs the stool, it absorbs the urine, it absorbs the gutter, nothing affects. And that's what we have to understand from the principle of sun. And therefore it is one of the gurus. And there is a nice mention is there, 11.751, Bhagavatam tells. Utyatesena Vaidena Vyaktishtha Iva Tadgataha Lakshate Stula Matibir Atma Chavastita Arkavat. Even when reflected in various objects, when sun reflected, it is never divided. That divided means we are affected by material nature, then we deviate, we become depressed, we don't chant, we don't read Bhagavatam, we forget Krishna consciousness, we go into depression, all these things. I'm telling about me only, I'm not telling about you. So that's what is happening. But here, if he goes and he gets affected everywhere, but he's not affecting at all. So, buddhate svena vaibedena bhaktistha iva Ivagata. Lakshate stula matibir atma chabisto arkavat. So even the reflected in various objects, the sun is never divided. And nor does it merge into the reflection. It doesn't go into the reflection. Only those dull brains should come to the sun in this way. Similarly, although the soul, our soul Atma, is reflected through different material bodies, the soul remains undivided. That means what does Krishna wants to say is the sun's teaching is that we should see Krishna in everybody. That's why I told you, I remember where I told class, that every jiva is a potential devotee of Krishna. So therefore, we cannot reject any living entity. Just like, this Dhruva, this Suruchi Mata, she was thinking that he is a small boy. He said, you cannot sit in my lap of your mother, of your father. Why? Because you are not born in my womb. So go to Krishna and worship and born in my womb. With so much of arrogance and ego, she insulted Dhruva Maharaj in front of so many audience. So that insult has become a hurt in the heart of Dhruva because the Kshatriya cannot tolerate the insult. Eh? Except in exceptional cases like Arjuna, he says in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, I am ready to go and beg, and he says. So that is exceptional case. That Krishna's arrangement that he is done like that. And then he comes back because Bhagavad Gita has to be spoken. So Arjuna has to take that role. Kshatriya always, and in fact, he is ready to kill his own brother. We know the past time, no? Where, no? When I think Karna hurts very badly, and then he was worried about the health of Bhishma. He comes, and then Yudhishthira asks, why you come from the battlefield? Have you killed Karna? No. Then why you are having Gandiva? Why you are having these arrows? These are all waste. Why you are saying Kunti Putra? You are useless. So he is, and then at the time, Arjuna wants to kill Yudhishthira Maharaj. So much blood was boiling for him. So Kshatriya blood is always boils. So it is natural that the blood boils. So here, the Dhruva Maharaj's blood was boiling, but he was not reacting. But he was feeling so much depressed because he has been told not to sit on the lap of the father. But he went and worshipped Krishna. He wants to acquire, and because Krishna remembered, and then you can see Suruchi went into the forest fire and she was burnt. She went to the forest, a fire came on its own, she burnt, and Uttama was killed by the Rakshasas. See, so that's why we don't know when a person will become a devotee of Krishna. So therefore, we cannot hurt any living entity. And that's what we have to understand. So the soul, every soul is a potential devotee of Krishna. Every jiva, Maharaj says, every jiva is a potential devotee of Krishna. That's how we have to see. And that's what Nityananda Prabhu saw. With his eyes, he was seeing Jagai Matai as a soul, not on the body. And therefore, he was able to liberate. And that's that approach you approach. And then you will be very merciful. Maharaj says we have to be merciful to the devotee when you are preaching. Not that I am a devotee, I know everything about Bhagavad Gita. And that arrogance should not be there. And then what will happen? That person will think this fellow is arrogant. So the message will not go inside. So we have to be compassionate and always considerate that every potential jiva is a devotee of Krishna. And this is the position of a jiva. What is the position of the devotees? So how much you have to be careful with them. So this is what we have to understand. And then what does this sun does? You see, why it says in the Brahma Samhita, Etchak Churesha Savita Sagalaghana Raja Samasta Suramurti Nasesha Teja Etcha Jaya Brahmati Sambrada. He is wandering. Brahmati means wandering. Sambrada Kala Chakru. So Krishna every day, this today is gone, 6th March, 7:30 in the morning, he will not come back again, even if you put millions of dollars. So Krishna, sun appears correctly and takes away robs away the life of our life. Robs away time of our life. Krishna, the sun comes in the form of time. So it is very important that we should use the time for Krishna. And we should have to steal time to read Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and all. This is what very important. And therefore, that's the Kala Chakra. He takes away our time. So this is very important. But however, there is an exception. We know the verse, beautiful verse. Those who are engaged, now presently we are engaged in Krishna consciousness. This time is Krishna doesn't drop because it is fully engaged. Thus, there's an exception that the sun takes away the life of span of the by sun setting and sunrise. But however, exception is those who are devotees of the Lord, those who are engaged in Krishna consciousness, that time is not taken away by Krishna. But doesn't mean that we will not die, but we will die. But we will have a quality life. That's what Krishna will say. Maybe because of our good deeds. So this is what we have to understand. So every day we should remember Krishna and we have to do the kirtans all the time. This is what we have to understand from this. And then it purifies. That what we discussed. It is completely purifying. The sun is the purifying. And now a best example of the example of the sun is controlled by Krishna is the Jayatratha pastime. The Jayatratha killed Abhimanyu, and then Arjuna wants to take revenge. He takes a vow without talking to Krishna. He says, I will kill Jayatratha by tomorrow evening, otherwise I'll kill myself. Without even consulting Krishna, without even discussing, because in anger, he took the decision. Then next day the war was started, and then Jayatratha, Duryodhana and Karna, everybody came to know that Arjuna wants to kill Jayatratha. If you can protect Jayatratha today, then Arjuna will kill himself, the battle will be over. So they were all planning and they protected Jayatratha very well. And therefore, Arjuna tried so many times. And in fact, every time he moved a long distance and he never entered the battle. And he was in the back of the battle and he never came in the front. And therefore, he was always protected by the army of the Kauravas. And then it is almost coming to 5:30 in the evening. It was the end of the day. We don't know what to do. And then Arjuna, at that time, he was just thinking, Krishna, can you help me? Krishna, Krishna, Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhyankara. He chanted the mantra. And then what has happened? Krishna has to reciprocate. And then Krishna says, don't worry. The sun is doing his job, but Mad Bhayat, it will not work. Then he sends his Sudarshan Chakra, which is also the wheel of fire, but it goes and covers the entire sun. And then it becomes darkness. It is like sunset. And then immediately Jayadatta became enthusiastic without even knowing why the sunset has happened. The sunset is supposed to happen at 6 o'clock, but it has happened at 5:30 because it is Krishna, Mad Bhayat. So Mad Bhayat, Krishna's fear, the sun was set by Sudarshana wheel. And therefore, he came out and then he was very happy to see what Arjuna is doing. Arjuna lit the fire and he went the one time, he went the second time, the third time he was about to go. And Krishna says, please take the arrow and bow and shoot the arrow and hit on Jayadatta head and ensure that take that head and put it on his father's lap. Because his father has taken a vow. Anybody who touches my son's head, he'll be powdered into pieces. So let it go to him. In one stroke, two things will be done. It is said in our Tamil, they call it no oru kallula rendu manga. Means one stone you get two mangoes. So he wants to kill Jayadatta and his father also. That curse also will be obviated. So Krishna knows everything, no? Sarvasya Nidhi Nimisto. He knows the heart of Jayadatta's father. And then immediately he removes the Sudarshan Chakra. Madbhaya, Patibhaya. Again, the sun came and then he hits the sun. And he hits the arrow and Jayadatta's skull on the head went in the lap of father and father touched it and he was also powdered into pieces. So we know the pastime, everybody knows. So that's why the sun rays are so important for us also. Without sun rays, we cannot. And that's why Maharaj says that we go to US and all these places where the sun is not there, then we don't have the darshan of the sun, then the body cannot. Because vitamin D is so important. And then without vitamin D, the body cannot sustain. Therefore, they say, especially early morning sun is very good. And that was sun. I remember in those days when we were young, we used to play cricket in the hot sun. And that is very good because this sun rays will go into the body and gives vitamins to our bodies. And we don't know. And therefore, the sun is doing its sun's splendor is to give always. It is always giving in the form of rains, in the form of heat and light. It is always giving us. And then when it wants, it can become very hot also. And that's what has happened. That's what happens in the desert area of UAE and all. It becomes so hot. And that's the reason. Sometimes the workers go up to the 11th floor, 12th floor construction. Because of the sun heat stroke, they fall down. Because the power of the heat of the sun, the light and sun is so powerful. And that's what we have to understand from Mad Bhayat. That what is that? The second line, what we saw, sun is also doing his job. That's Surya Tapati Mad Bhayat. Now we'll go to the next one, which is called this Surya, Chandra also we can say. The Chandra also, and also you can one more thing we can remember. See, Krishna is so happy with Surya. Krishna is so happy with Chandra. Krishna is so happy with Agni. He appeared as incarnation in their Vamsa. In the Surya Vamsa, he became as Lord Ram and Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrughna, various incarnation. And then in Chandra Vamsa, he came as Lord Balram and Krishna. And then in Agni Vamsha, he came as Parashurama. So Krishna, because of their excellent service and excellent devotional service they performed with the service attitude, devotional service attitude, Krishna is pleased. He said, I will incarnate in your Amamsha. Krishna said that. So that's what I just want to say that. Now, Chandra, the Chandra also we can see that one time what has happened, that Sahadev gave the instructions. And then without Chandra, we cannot get juices in the fruits. And Krishna says, Soma Bhutva Rasatmaka in Bhagavad Gita, he says. So the juices are getting because of the moon. Without the moon, we cannot get the juices in the. And the moon is only the cooling shading light. It's always so cool, especially in the night. It gives us, and also it is also required for our body also that effulgence. So Chandra light is also required. So we understand One second. Okay. So, Soma Bhutva Rasatmakaha. So, and we know once what has happened when the war was about to be declared, and then Duryodhana goes and consults Sakadeva. Sakadeva gives the dates that we have to do an Amavasya. So, Krishna knows the day before the Amavasya, he decided that this has to be tricked, otherwise, the war will be won. Because whatever Sakadeva says, because Sakadeva was a true person, because he was an astrologer, but he was able to predict and give the right decision. So he decided not to give the wrong because, and then even this Tamara was very happy. Bhima was very unhappy. Oh, not happy, very unhappy. How do you give the right dates? You are a fool. No, he said, I am doing my work as an astrologer. So I have to give the right dates. I cannot cheat. It's not my nature to cheat. And therefore, Krishna understood the problem. And then he did the Amasya. He called all the Purohits and he started doing the Tarpanam for his forefathers. When he was doing the Tarpana for the forefathers, everybody was wondering, how come today is not Amavasya? How come the Tarpana is happening? How come the Tarpana is happening? And then the sun and the moon god, they were also getting bewildered. They said, how come it is possible? Krishna is doing today Amavasya. Today is not Amavasya. It is Chaturdasi or something. I don't know exactly. So that day, so how can they do Amavasya Tarpanam? So then everybody started doing it on that day. And then immediately Chandra and Surya, demigod, they Mad Bayat, out of fear, they came to Krishna and asked Krishna, Krishna, we are bewildered. And then Krishna asked, so what is the meaning of Amavasya? He says, the Chandra and Surya come together. Now you come together. Today's Amavasya. Then he did it. Then finally, of course, the next day was the real Sanya Amavasya. And then the war went favorably in the favor of, just for the sake of his devotee, Krishna can control even the moon, Amavasya also. So that's why we have to understand Somo Mutma Rasatmaka. And he gives the juices. And that's what we understand. Now, Vashati Indra. So that's what we have to say, Varshati Indra. Varshati Indra means we know that it showers rain, and the rain is very much important for us to sustain in our life. The best Varsha, we know that the Varsha we can understand that when we recite every day Guru Ashtakam, where Samsara Dava Nalalita Loka Rinaya Karunya Gana Ganatvam Praptasya Kalyana Gunana Vasya Praptasya Kalyana. Because the transcendental qualities of all the transcendental qualities, Kalyana, very auspicious qualities, are there in the Guru, and they shower rains of cloud and pours the rain so that the living entities come out of the samsara dava, means the fire, burning fire of the material world, which is burning us all the time. Every second of our existence is being burnt. We have a corona, we have other problems, we have so many problems in this material world. So we are always engulfed with samsara dava, just like forest fire. And this samsara dava is being completely dissipated by the process of the rains. And this rains is karuna. Because of the transcendental qualities of the Guru, the rains are pouring from the heavens. And this is because out of pure, and that's why they give the qualities the same way, just like the transcendental qualities of the spiritual master, and removes and give that Krishna consciousness, like Prabhupada mercy, that we are able to chant and read Bhagavatam. Otherwise, when we touch this three Madhya Mati Bhagavaya, we would not have touched Bhagavatam. When he has not written word to word, it is complete mercy. How much he has sacrificed. And for that, and that's why the quality is that so much sacrifice Prabhupada said. He's written 2 hours. He said, give me some peaceful place so that I can write. He want to write Ramayana. He want to write Mahabharata. He want to write so many Upanishads. He couldn't write because of time. Just 12 years. Such a sacrifice he has done. That's how much we have to be grateful to him. And that's why, because he has got ocean of transcendental qualities. And this ocean of transcendental qualities comes as a rain when we are suffering in this burning fire of samsara in this material world. And that's what we have to understand. And this fire also, we can understand that Agni also has got the same quality. Sorry, Varshati, sorry, I bit vaguely. Varshati, we know the Indra's past time, that Krishna, Indra decided to become, he became puffed up and he wants to control. We know the Govardhana pastime. I don't want to go into the intricacies of the Govardhana's pastime. because you know the pastime very well. So I need not discuss. But only thing is, gist of the essence is that Krishna thinks that he was control of the count, Sambartaka cloud, which is annihilation, but Krishna could lift the Govardhan hill for the sake of his devotees. And therefore, even the heavy storms, nothing would affect the Vrajavasis because in their intense desire to have the association. Krishna Darshana Lalasaha. They were so much attracted to Krishna's lotus feet and to have the association. And therefore, Krishna decided that once in a day only we are associating the gopis and gopas. Let us have 24-hour darshan for 7 days. Therefore, Krishna says, don't worry, let us invoke some anger to Indra, and Indra behaved. And Indra reacted. So, but you should not assume that Indra, so many times he faltered in the page of the Bhagavad, but he is acting as a role. Never you should think the Indra to be undermined. And that's why Krishna also appeared in the Indra's brother Upendra as Vamana, because he loved the demigods for their obedience. Every time they are in difficulty, they will approach Brahma, they will approach Krishna when they are in difficulty. And that's what they do. And that's therefore in Krishna appeared as Vamana in their family also. So he never left anybody. So as Indra also, he became a Upendra. Upendra means he's the elder brother of Indra. So he took the role. Krishna takes multiple roles. And therefore we have to understand that Indra was trying to control. And he was saying he's a small boy, Balisha. Balisha means he is immature person. Krishna, he took him. He's a small boy. What is he doing? He doesn't know. Instead of offering this boga to me, he is offering to Govardhan and the Brahmanas. He couldn't understand. And then once the rain and then everything done, then Krishna also did not embrace him directly. He says, please come separately. And then also he was very intelligent. Krishna is Go Brahmanitacha. He came with the Surabhi cow. And then he did the Abhishekam and Krishna was pacified. If Surabhi cow did not come, because Indra was very intelligent. He's a devotee anyway altogether. Since he's a devotee, he was intelligent. So if I go alone, I will be burned to death. Krishna will burn me to death because I have affected I have given so much of offense to the pure devotees of Gopis and Gopas and Vrindavan. So I offended them. So I cannot afford to go in front of Krishna. He was so afraid to go before Krishna. And then he came with Surabhi. Surabhi came first and then came Indra. And then he came and fall at the feet of Krishna. And therefore, that's what we say, Varshati Indra. Varshati Indra means Krishna showers the rain. Indra showers the rain according to the will of Krishna. And that's what we have to understand from this past. And then comes, we have to see uh, Jagati burns Agni. Jagati Agni. So Jagati Agni means Agni is also a guru because Agni does the qualities because it is also serving Krishna. Indra is also has got some good qualities. Good qualities means there is demigod qualities he has got, and therefore he has been put in that post. It's not that he gets the post like that. No, the soul is put in their portion of Indra, not an ordinary person. Unless he is qualified, he will not be Indra. So okay, it's very difficult except in one cases where he has done the Govardhan pastime and then Prithu Maharaj pastime, 2-3 pastimes he did it. But otherwise, overall picture, if you see, Krishna sees the overall picture. Krishna doesn't see, what is the effect. And Krishna sees our endeavor. Krishna doesn't see overall how much the devotee endeavors in Krishna consciousness. He is not see whether he's successful or not. So he may be a mate of here faltered, here, there. We may go out of step. But Krishna knows. Ultimately, the person wants to have the intense desire to serve Krishna. Krishna doesn't see that everyone becomes a pure devotee. It's not possible. He knows, Krishna knows also. Because of our karmas and vasanas which we have inherited. And therefore we continue the karmas and vasanas. So it is very important. So now you can see the Agni. Agni is also a guru. It is also like the sun. It purifies whatever is poured into it. Then there is a nice verse, 11:745. Tejasi tapasa deepto dur durdarshadodara bhajanaha sarva bhakshe api. 11:745. Yuktatma nadate malam agnivat. Saintly persons become powerful. Become powerful. It is, I think, 45 to 47. Put 45 to 47. 11:7, 45 to 47. 45 to 47. You put 45 to okay. Tejasvi Tapato. So, okay. So it is mentioned that the saintly person become powerful by the execution of austerities. Therefore, consciousness is unshakable because they do not try to enjoy anything within the material. Such naturally liberated sages accept foods that are offered to them by destiny. And if by chance happen to eat contaminated food, they are not affected. Just like fire, which burns up the contaminated substance that are offered to it. So whatever the substance we have offered to it, it burns. Suppose sometimes we take some item and then Krishna digests our food and then our motion is also good. So it is possible because such saintly person and so much austerity, and the sun, the Agni is doing so much of austerity, and then what happens? Anything put into that, it purifies. Just like sun purifies, it also purifies. It has also acquired the qualities of Krishna. And then that's what we know, and Krishna says, Aham Vaishvana Bhutam Praninam Degamasha. Prana Pana Samayampe Pachaninam Chadurvinam. We know that Krishna digests the foods. And that's why he digests the food. If he doesn't digest the food, we will not have the Jadrakni need. Jadrakni doesn't work, we cannot digest the food. And therefore, which burns up even contaminated sustenance at all. And that's what such natural liberty suggests that are offered to them by destiny. And by chance they are able to eat with contaminated food, they are not affected. Just like fire, they are not affected means the best example that fire which cannot burn up. Suppose if you take some contaminated food, we get indigestion and all. But in case of pure devotees, it doesn't affect. The best example is Raghunath Das Goswami. When he was in the Puri, he was taking the remnants which is coming out of the gutter, and then raw rice he was taking and washing it and taking it. That was the rice he was taking. But even though those are all even not even worms, he was eating it. But Krishna digested the food because of the extreme austerity. Raghunath Das Goswami. His father is a Mazumdar. Every day he was earning 1 lakh rupees. That means crores and crores. Now, what I'm talking about, 14th century, 1 lakh at that time is so much big money, Mazumdar. But Raghunath Das Goswami did not have an iota of attraction because he was doing severe austerities to please Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that was his only desire. And therefore, because his desire to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and therefore he took the extreme step of leaving the family, leaving the wife, and everything. And therefore, because of the power of austerities, then the power of digestion also worked for him. And therefore, he was taking uncontaminated food, and that food is getting digested for him. That's what we cannot try or imitate because we are not in the pure platform. Don't try all those things. No, I will take rotten samosa and all, then your body will digest. No, you will be contaminated, you will suffer. Please be careful. That's what we have to understand. So in our case, we cannot do. We are not on the transcendental platform. So, and I remember one devotee, his name is Jagat Bandhu. He's in Mamgachi. In 2004, we visited. What he used to do is, he used to serve Krishna so wonderfully. His service attitude is exceptional. He was having hunchback. He cannot straightly sit. He was having a hunchback and he used to bend down like this. And he used to do prasad. And then what he used to do, whenever he gets sick of cold, cough, anything, he will go to the Ganges water and drink it. And then he will take prasadam or he will not take prasadam. And then what happens? Within few days, the body becomes okay. But he never stopped the service of Radha Madana Gopal, I think. It's Madana Gopal, I think. I remember. I don't know. My memory is not correct. It is 2004, 17 years before. So he was serving. And then the service, he did so many varieties of subjects. We went there first time. He served. We were there. The prasadam was so much. He took some help. He was 75 or something. He took some help of Mataji to cut the vegetables. But he was single-handedly doing the cooking. And he was so enthusiastic, offered prasadam. He said, take sabji, say sabji more, he says. Lelo, he was telling. I don't know how much love. And because he has never gone to any doctor for any medicine. Because Krishna was the medicine and the Ganges water is the medicine. And therefore, his digestion power, everything was working fine. Suppose we have problems, loose motion problems. Now we take medicines to stop that. But in his case, it doesn't. So that's what we can see, the power of digestion because of the extreme austerities and Seva Ananda. Seva Ananda means Krishna Seva Ananda. They were able to do with so much of love and devotion. And that's what we have to understand. The best example, the Agni, we can see how Krishna protected the Vrajavasis. The 2 times Agni came 2 times. One time it happened in the period of Kali, after Kali Mardana. They were staying in the Vrindavan forest. At the time, in the Yamuna, near the Yamuna, at the time the big forest fire came, and then everybody was worried. At the time, Krishna swallowed the entire fire because Madbaya. So because everything is under Krishna's control, he swallowed the entire forest fire, and it's mentioned in the Pura, in some of the Acharya says that this forest fire is nothing but the close friend of Kaliya. And therefore, he wants to take revenge on Krishna and his devotees. But he couldn't do because Krishna swallowed. And then there is another forest fire which happens in the 10th canto where the cows and the calves they go astray from the main where the Gopas were playing. They go away. At that time also, Krishna protects and swallows the forest fire. And therefore, Krishna here, because Jagati means it will not burn only for only for only for normal living entities. But Krishna, it doesn't burn because everything is under Smana. So he swallowed. And forget about this. And not only this, not only even the devotees are powerful. The best example is that the Kandava forest was burned. At that time, that Maya Dhanava, he took shelter of Arjuna. He didn't take shelter of Krishna. Krishna was about to kill. He took his Sudan Chakra to kill Maya Dhanava. Krishna took this sword. It is there in first canto, 15th chapter. I don't remember the verse number. I can tell. I think 115:18. So that's 115:18. So at the time when the fire was there, before this, the fire was there, then they said, Krishna Krishna Mahavira, Ye Rama Moga Vikrama, 10:19:9. Davagni Dakyamananam, Prapannam Tatmaharata. Please protect us. This the Gopas were praying, Gopas, the young Gopas were praying to Krishna, please protect us when they were difficulty, when the fire was there. And here, Mayadanama took shelter of Arjuna. He understood immediately that Krishna is very angry with him. So immediately took shelter of Arjuna. Arjuna then he was very happy and he protected. Prabhupada writes in the purport very nicely that the devotees are also powerful and therefore the fire did not burn Mayadanama. So when he was chased by the fire and the wheel of Lord Krishna, he took shelter of such a devotee Arjuna who saved him from the wrath of fire of Lord Krishna. Devotees are therefore more merciful than the Lord. In the devotion service, the mercy of devotee is more valuable than the mercy of the Lord. Both the fire and the Lord are ceased from chasing the demon. Even the Lord did not chase him, As both of them saw the demon, they had given shelter by such a devotee as Arjuna. The demon, feeling obliged to Arjuna, wanted to do some service to show his gratefulness. But Arjuna declined to accept anything from him. But Krishna said, no, our being pleased, the Maya, the Indraprastha was built, taking shelter, and beautiful Indraprastha, where they did the Rajasuya exam. And so wonderful, and then Duryodhana became very envious. We know that. The process, the days of the devotee, the mercy of the Lord is obtained. And by the mercy of the Lord, a chance is given, the service of the Lord's devotees obtained. The club of Bhimasena was also a gift of Maya Danava. And then that's how we can see. So this is how we can see how the Agni cannot do anything. And the best example is Anjaneya. Anjaneya's tail was put into fire, but nature didn't affect it. Nothing affected Anjaneya, correct? He was about to be burned. It's very nicely mentioned. So 115:18 wrong, Prabhu. I told the wrong verse. I think it's wrong. I think 115:19 or something, maybe 17. Maybe I put the wrong number. So verse is wrong. Maybe purport is there. Maya Danava, not this verse. So maybe 19 or 17, maybe somewhere there. So you can look into it, maybe when time permits. 17, 18, those areas only, not this. So Anjaneya was burnt, but nothing happened to him. Go up, Prabhu. Go up. No, not this. Not this. Not this. Maybe I will get you that number. Okay, I will get you the number. After the class is over, I'll get you. Okay. Yeah. Go down. I think this is the one. 115:16, I think. Please go down. No. It's not there. Not there. Okay. Leave this, Prabhu. Okay. Let us not get diverted. So Anjaneya was set fire, but nature did not work on him because he was a pure devotee of the Lord. Sita Mata prayed that the fire should not burn him. Nothing burnt him also. That's what we can see. And the Pandavas were about to be burnt in the Lakshagraha. And because Vidura protected them, and nothing could be done. And that's what we can see from the pages of. So the Krishna is very powerful. The Agni is very powerful. The sun is powerful. But Krishna is more powerful. And more than Krishna, the devotees, pure devotees of the Lord, or Krishna empowers them to become more powerful. And that's what we can see from the pages of Bhagavatam. And now last but least, Mrityu, death. Charati Madbhayat. Mrityu Charati Madbhayat. So we know there is no way to avoid death. And what actually Katha Upanishad says, very nice verse, Yasya Brahma Chatram Sa Ube Bhavata Odanaha Mrityur Yasyopachenam Ka Itta Veda Yatra Saha. This means what he says, the Lord swallows the world comprising of sentience and non-sentience as if they were just a handful of cooked rice. He's taking the whole world and swallowing it as cooked rice. And then with Yama as pickled. Whole rice is taking with Yama as pickled. So Mrityu is under his control. Mrityu is Charati. So, so when Krishna is eating, it is mentioned in the Upanishad. It is mentioned in Katha Upanishad 2.25. So, and that's why Maharaj says, don't think Yamaraj is like an Indian government where we can bribe and get away a punishment. You cannot escape. So, that's why Yamaraj uses the aircraft, air crash, he uses corona, he uses so many techniques to kill the living entities. So, that's why we cannot avoid. So, we cannot avoid Krishna, we cannot avoid Mrityu at all. But the same Mrityu, you can see the best pastime story we know that once there was a bird, a small bird in the, I think in Jagannath Puri Dham, we are talking about, we'll remember this pastime. Jagannath Puri Dham, I was thinking what I'm going to talk about Jagannath. So we are having the darshan of Jagannath Puri, Jagannath Baldev, Subhadra Mai. Let us remember this pastime. So that bird was there in Jagannath Puri. At the time, Yamaraj came there, and at the time the Garuda was also there. The Yamaraj was laughing at seeing at the bird. And then Garuda asked, why are you laughing at that bird? He asked Yamaraj. Yamaraj said, it has to die very quickly, and therefore I'm thinking how to kill it. Because I come to take away life. But I'm thinking of something, and therefore when it is going to die, I don't know. Then immediately Garuda said, no, I have to protect. He says that I'm a devotee of Krishna, let me protect. So he takes the bird and goes 7 deepas. He goes and then goes to a tree, and then in the tree there was a small hole. He puts the bird inside the hole. And then what happens? By Krishna's arrangement, Yamaraj came to the tree, and then Mrityu in the form of Sarpa bitten the bird, and the bird died. And then Garuda became very upset. What is this happening? And then he asked Yamaraj, why you are doing this? Then Yamaraj was laughing. I was laughing because I was thinking how this bird sitting in Jagannath Puri will die, because it was supposed to die in a tree 7 islands far away from here. And I was thinking, who is going to take it? And now you have done the job for me, and therefore I have to take the bird's life here. So Krishna says in the Mrityaste Arati Chaham. I am the Mrityu personified. Krishna comes as death personified, and we cannot avoid it. Yamaraj. And that's why Maharaj says, Yamaraj is not our driver, where we can go on the mess judgments, we can go on a ride. We cannot go on a ride with him and say, let us go for a big ride. Let us go to Batuta Mall. Even Batuta Mall. We cannot say it because even I'm Yamasya Karuna Nasti. He doesn't have any mercy. Krishna Yamaraj doesn't have any mercy. That's what we have to understand. But the same Mrityu runs away from him. What is that verse? Anybody remembers? The same Mrityu runs away from Krishna.
Yatkashyanesho
Correct. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Wonderful. Yatkashyanesho Balinodu Korha Chandaveka Kabita Vadobshu. It is chasing every second of our existence. Vitam Prapannam Paribadi. There's another verse also. What is that verse? The first canto. Anybody remembers?
That Apanna Sansritim Ghora.
Correct. Excellent. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you very much. So Tazas Vijay. So Yatkashyanesho Balinodu Korha Chandaveka Kabita Vitam Prapannam Paribadeta Mrityu Pradavati Anamti. Mrityu Pradavati. Mrityu Pradavati means it runs away. Prabhupada used the word Yet Bhayat. It says Mrityu Pradata runs away from the devotee. Mrityu Pradata, actual shelter of everyone. He says Mrityu Pradavati Aranam Tamini. The moment we surrender to Krishna, even the Mrityu goes away. And that is the potency, even though Mrityu is under the control of Krishna. Mrityu does everything under the control of Krishna. Therefore, we have to take shelter of Krishna. It doesn't mean that we can run away from death. It is impossible. But our death will be bearable death, so that we don't have to suffer. If karmas are there, we have to suffer. But karmas are reasonably okay, then we can have a good death. And then don't remember that some people die anayasana maranam. That means they are having a beautiful death. No. Their karmas are there, they have to come again and all. Don't think that. And those those devotees, like our what is his name? I forgot his name. One what is his name? I forgot his name. One Maharaj. What is his name, Maharaj?
Bhakti
He
Charu
is I
Maharaj?
think no, not Bhakti Charu Maharaj. One more Maharaj. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. He was in Mayapur when he left his body. He had a cancer, but his consciousness was Krishna conscious fully. He's wonderful preacher. He went to Russia to preach Krishna consciousness. He's such a bold preacher. He's a fearless person, completely fearless. Abhayam means Abhayam, completely fearless. Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi, because he was completely purified. He didn't have iota of fear when he leaves the body through cancer also. So don't worry that the devotee doesn't have cancer and all. Doesn't matter. Anything can happen. But as long as we are Krishna conscious, then Mrityu Pradavat means we need not take another body. So Bhaktivedanta Maharaj is gone back to Krishna or serving Krishna somewhere along, serving Prabhupada in some other planet. So Bhaktivedanta Maharaj also was very bold. So that's why they don't fear. Bhaktivedanta Maharaj also a very good example. Yes, he was fearless to go to America in spite of so much problems. Now we are so much afraid to go out, and then we want to put the co-vaccine, COVID, so many things we want to put. But here he was not afraid because they want to preach Krishna consciousness and they want to give Krishna consciousness. So much adabra karuna is this Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. That's an exalted personality. He have come into our lives. We have associated with him. So how much purification? They are like sun. They are like Agni. They have purified us. We have associated with them. Can you imagine? We don't deserve to see them, but Krishna is so merciful that is allowed to see them and associate with them and always do some services to them also. So wonderful. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, we are not able to associate, but I'm telling about Bhakti Charu Maharaj. He came to Abu Dhabi. He came to Swami Prabhu's house once or twice, I think. So Mrityur Pradavare Anantamimi. So and therefore Yamaraj tells his servants very nicely. Tadeva Siddha Parigata Pavitra Gada 6327. He says, my dear servants, please do not approach the devotees, for they are fully surrendered to the lotus feet of Supreme Personality in Ajamala case. They are equal to everyone. Their narration are sung by the demigods and these inhabitants of Siddhaloka. Please do not go even near them. We are always protected by the club of the Supreme Personality Godhead. Therefore, Lord Brahma, even time factor, are not competent to chastise them, are not competent. He says, I, Brahma, and time factor, Kala, are not competent. And then we can see the best example from the pages of the Bhagavatam is Bhishma, the emblem of sacrifice. How much he has sacrificed for Krishna. See how much sacrifice. He was a Mahajana, no? He could not preach till his last minute. And Krishna said, no, he has to preach Krishna consciousness. So I have to give him Krishna consciousness. He has to preach Krishna consciousness. I have to give him Krishna consciousness. And he has not preached. He's a Mahajana. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu. 6315 somewhere in the Bhagavatam. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu. Kumaro Kapilavunu. Prahlado Janako Bhishmo. Balim Vayasaki Mai. If you see, Brahma preached to Manu. And then Swayambhu Narada preached to all the devotees. Shambhu, Lord Shiva preached to Prachetas. And then Kumara preached to Ritu Maharaj. Kapilo preached to Devahuti Mata. Manu also preached to his daughter Devahuti and so many, even to I think Priyavrata. And then came the Kumara Kapilo Manu. Prahlado Janako Bhishma. Prahlad means Prahlad also preached. We know he preached to his demons. He preached to his Vardhar. Janaka also preached. And Bhishma could not preach till the last minute. And then because he was an emblem of sacrifice, whole lifetime was an emblem of sacrifice. And then therefore, because he sacrificed his family life, he sacrificed everything for the sake of Krishna. And then he says in the page of the Bhagavatam 1922, he is Ekanta Bhakta. Because his devotional service was never interrupted, even though he was in the opposite side. You see, what are his friends? His association are Asadhus. Asadhus means he had he had Karna, he had Shakuni, Duryodhana, all Dhritarashtra, all evil-minded personalities. But he has to serve them because he has taken a vow to serve them. Whole life is full of sacrifice. And then Krishna said, and he was lying in the bed of arrows. Then how you welcome to the Yudhishthira Maharaj? Such a person, Krishna says, Icha Mrityu. And Krishna says, please come before me, he says. And therefore he came, and then his body was completely purified. His body was full of arrows. Can you imagine? At that time, Krishna says, no, I will come wait for Uttarayan. Means 45 days he was in the bed of arrows. Can you imagine? And then all the material contamination went away. Nothing affected him because his body becomes completely transcendental, just like Prabhupada. So his body becomes completely transcendental and he was able to give darshan and he was welcoming the guests. Just like our Maharaj was welcoming in Bhaktivedanta hospital all the disciples. The same way Ishma was inviting all the sages, even though he was unable to do it. It is nicely mentioned in the base of the Bhagavad. So that's what we can see. Now, um, these are all okay. Now, all these material elements has to do the natural way, but they didn't do the natural way. The sun has to give heat, the fire has to burn, and the rain has to come, clouds, correct? And Mrityu has to come. But all these things did not work for one Acharya of our age, and that is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He was such an exalted Acharya in our Sampradaya. That's why we do Guru Ashtakam every day in the morning. We remember him. And then he was once asked by his spiritual master. Um, his name is, I think, Radharaman Chakravarti. Radharaman Chakravarti told him that he was in Vrindavan because he was not interested in family life. He went to Vrindavan very young age because he used to read Bhagavatam thrice or four times. And then his brothers also, Raghunath Chakravarti and Ramabhadra Chakravarti, both are all very much exalted devotees. So brother also, his father is Narayan Chakravarti. So this he was with them, but at a very young age he wants to do only devotion service because he was absorbed in chanting the holy names and was reading Bhagavatam voraciously. Not like one time, so many times he was reading. And every time, because he has a love for Krishna, and also he is called Vinod Manjari, eternal associate in the spiritual world. So he went to Vrindavan, and then Radharaman Chakravarti said, "You got to come, you got a wife." He was married because his father said he is too much Krishna conscious, let him get married with young age. His wife is named Vibha. He said, "Please come and stay with your wife one night." He says he came back and then he was staying one night, and the whole night he was chanting Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And then next day, he went and told Radharaman Chakravarti, "I was with my wife and they were reading Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita." The moment he heard that, Radharaman Chakravarti was extremely pleased. My spiritual disciple, implicitly obedient. He obeyed my instructions that he want to sit with his wife. But what we will do? We will just enjoy a life. But here he was not enjoying life. He was sacrificing his life for Krishna. And Radharama Chakravarti was so pleased that you are fit only for Bhagavatam. You transcribe Bhagavatam. He started writing Bhagavatam. When he started writing Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that he was writing the entire Bhagavatam verses. So when he was writing, there was heat, so much heat all over the city of Devagram, where Radharama Chakravarti is there. But in wherever he is sitting, it was Vasanta Panchami. Vasanta Panchami means it was that area where he was writing, the nature did not work. The sun was not giving heat, the sun was not giving light, the sun was not burning, it was not scorching. Nothing is happening. It was like a cool wind breeze of Vasanta. Especially it is called Vasant, and therefore the spring season, and it was gentle breeze and mild sun was there. It was in February, March time. Like always, nothing everywhere around it was scorching heat. Everything was burning, but nothing was happening. There was forest fires also, but nothing is happening where he was writing Bhagavata because he was book Bhagavata and Mahabhagavata both were together. Nothing would affect. So that is a transcendent nature. That means the sun who has to work his nature, he forgets his original nature. And the same way, there was heavy rains when he was writing Bhagavatam. Not even a droplet fell on the Ramayana. Nothing happened to him. And there was severe cold, so much cold, and nothing cold, but it was only spring season. Only spring, because he was fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. And therefore, Krishna facilitates the living entity to make even the worst time as the best time for the devotee. And therefore, he was not affected. And therefore, nature of the fire is to burn, the nature of the sun to heat and heat light, the nature of the rain to become wet. But they lost the nature because of the potency of the pure devotee of the Lord and Srimad Bhagavatam, which is non-different from Krishna. Pratyaksha Krishna Evahi. And therefore, this is what we have to understand. So these are all transcendent subject matter. And therefore, everything is possible. And that's why we remember the very wonderful purport. But I think David Prabhu took this statement and made us read again 331:80. This is the Jantu's prayers. The last line of the purport. Everything is possible by the transcendental energy of the Lord. And therefore, even though the sun is fire, the sun is heating, giving heat, the Agni burns, the rain pours, and the Mrityu chases, but nothing happens. Therefore, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he left his body in 1708, 70 years. After also, there was a threat for this Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Radha Krishna worship was stopped, and he was instrumental in sending his assistant, Baladev Vidya Bhushan, to stop that. And the Govinda Bhashyam, supplemented Vedas by the Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, was written. And therefore, the Ramanandi, the sect of Sri Sampradaya, were defeated by Baladev Vidya Bhushan. And he re-established because he has dedicated his life. And then he left his body on his own. So that's why this is all the things, nature things will lose its potency if you are engaged in 100% pure devotional service. And that's what Vishwanath did. The same thing happened for Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad was thrown from the cliff. He was protected by the Lord. He was put in the fire. And then he was given Vasha. He was given poison from the snake. And nothing happened to him. He digested. Agni, just like Agni. Aham Vaishranam Praninam Degam Ashita. He digested the Agni also. Nothing would happen. And he was put in the front of snakes. They bit him, nothing happened. And then they put in front of elephants, nothing happened. Because pure devotee means the body is transcendental. Everything is possible by the transcendental energy. And therefore, the more we take shelter of Krishna, doesn't mean that we become Prahlad Maharaj, doesn't mean that we become Vishwanath Chakravarti. But at least we take shelter of Krishna because that can have minimum effect on us. That's what we pray to Krishna, and we have to understand from this. And therefore, summarize, I'll give some points, main lessons we have to learn. Krishna is our supreme controller. When we are attacked by any of the natural elements, we have to take shelter of them. We have to be regular and punctual in the devotional service. We have to approach devotees with humility. Humility means the acceptance of distress, what they are going through. And then we retaliate means we are arrogant. And we don't know when a living entity will come to Krishna consciousness. And then we should also remember, when you do the devotion service with full faith and the service attitude, say, the best thing is the service attitude, which is very important for us to understand. And then the service attitude attracts the Krishna. And that's what we did. And the service attitude and the punctuality done by the faithful or the sun, moon, so the sun, moon, and the fire and the Indra, what has happened? It attracts the mercy, and therefore the sun and fire got the qualities of Krishna. We can acquire the qualities of Krishna and his devotees by serving them punctually and also serving them with the devotional service attitude. And that's what we understand. And the service attitude of Krishna we saw as Lord Varaha, as also as Lord Krishna doing the menial service. So ready to do any type of service. Always hanker for service and not for enjoyment in the service. Srimad Bhagavatam. We are serving Srimad Bhagavatam. We should always hanker for service. We should always ready to sacrifice like Bhishma. And that should be our attitude. Ultimately, Krishna will take care though, even though it's a big struggle. Maya Dhanava pastime, if you take shelter of pure devotee, then the natural elements also are under shelter. And then we should not worry about our bliss and our duty service. Attitude should continue. And then the bliss is Krishna's prerogative. He may give any time because we are jaundiced in the bodily consumption. We should not worry about Krishna's domain. Then we should always beg for Krishna's mercy. That Radhanath Maharaj statement that should beg for Guru's mercy and Krishna's mercy all the time. And then in order to have the proper circulation of air in the water, we should remember 5:20:28. And then Yama is also under the control of Mrityu. We saw it Krishna Balinu. Krishna, Bhagavatam Grantaraj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Itai Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Okay, Hare Krishna. We will stop here. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Girivardhari Prabhu and rather Sadashiv Prabhu and Swayam Smriti for giving me an opportunity to speak on Bhagavatam. If there is any questions, any violent objections, you can tell. And if you are not happy with me, please forgive me. And also, I pray to all the devotees. Maharaj said very nicely that we may end up our relationship with anybody, anytime anybody may leave. And therefore, if you offend a devotee and if you don't get the recourse, then whole lifetime you have to regret. And we may have to take another body. And that's what has happened for Gauragopal Prabhu. Gauragopal Prabhu could not take because of his ego. He could not ask forgiveness from his father. And he's still regretting for it. So we should not. And therefore, I pray to all the devotees, if I offended directly or indirectly during the course of my arrogant speech, arrogant talks, the last 17 years, please forgive me. And please bless me that I should get iota of this bhakti, iota of this sacrifice attitude of Bhishma and Maya Danava and all this. So let me get a piece of dust, the lotus feet of all these devotees, and so that we can get a trace of, I will get a trace of bhakti in my life. Still, I am searching for the bhakti which is eluding us, and that mercy is coming from Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Bhagavatam Grantaraj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, is Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Laddu Gopal ki jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Shodasha ki jai. Thank you very much, Prabhu, Siddha Prajnabhuru, for showing this wonderful darshan. Thank you very much. I can see the Laddu Gopal also. Ah, very good. Thank you very much. Laddu Gopal ji ki jai, Narasimha Bhagavan ki jai. And oh, I missed all the prasadam, no? Virtual prasadam only. I cannot eat this prasadam now.
Yeah,
Anyway,
actually, we are missing you all. Virtual prasadam.
yeah. One day will happen. We'll have regular prasad. Krishna will.
Okay, Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
wants it will happen. Krishna will. Thank you very much. Dandor pranams to you and Mataji also. Mallar and Maitreya. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai. We'll stop here. Girvadari, any questions? Anybody wants to ask some questions? Any clarification? Anything they want to add? They can add also.
Yeah, I think this verse tells us that this Surya, Chandra, Indra, and Agni, Mrityu, they all fear from Lord, and which is there is no doubt about it. But when you see certain pastimes like forest fire or water god, and then Trinavar in the form of that Adam, and they create so many problems for living entity. Even the devotees, they create problems. So how do we understand? Although we can understand these are basically pastimes of Krishna, but then how does it work that they are fearful of Krishna also, but at the same time it seems that they are not fearful. They are creating problem for the devotees, and they are creating problem for so many living entities. So how this context can be understood, apart from the fact that it can be considered as a pastime of Krishna? Is that the only answer?
Prabhu, we have to understand that actually the forest fire in after Kaliya Matna, the forest fire after the Gopas, these things are happening to they are doing it under Krishna's control, Mad Bhayat. And therefore Krishna wants to enact the pastime and they want to show that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But even though they don't believe, actually Gopas and Gopis, they don't believe. And Trinavarta and all these demons, because why these pastimes are enacted, why Indra is behaving like this, unless these pastimes are enacted, just like Trinavarta represents our ego, false ego. It represents, the Acharya says, the false ego. The false ego always doesn't want to surrender to Krishna. And also this forest fire is also compared to that that we tend to offend the devotees. It is also Acharya says. So these are all some qualities manifested in the form. So Krishna wants to say how to avoid this. If you don't surrender to Krishna, then it will eliminate you from this world. And therefore the false ego, finding faults with the devotees, all this criticism, these are all the subtle points which we have to understand. And these are all happening because Krishna wants to enact this past. This only reason is pastime. Because why Indra has to behave like this? Why Arjuna has to behave like this? Arjuna is a pure devotee. Bhakto Sidme Sakati. Why you used to say that I don't want to fight, I want to go and beg? It is Krishna's. Krishna wants so that material people like us we can understand. That is the main reason. Main reason Krishna enacts this pastime so that this becomes glorious and you can understand the potency of Krishna, that Krishna can swallow the fire also. Then how to validate this statement of Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam statements have come. So Bhagavatam said Mad Bhayat. Mad Bhayat means under control. Then how to enact this? So suppose we tell the theory only without any practical, how people will understand the glory of Krishna? Correct? People have to have the pastime so that this goes in the registers. Krishna has swallowed the forest fire because it is under his control. So every statement of Bhagavatam, Krishna enacts as a pastime so that people can understand, especially in the Kali Yuga, because people are so dull-minded that we cannot understand whatever the statements of Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. We are so much corroded in the mind And also, as a Trunavata is also, he said, he was a great devotee of the Lord. But he has offended one Vaishnava. And therefore, because of the offense, it was not a deliberate offense. It is said he was called some, I don't remember his name, some name was given. I remember that. And then because of the offense, he has to take this form of Trinavarta. And then he asked for forgiveness. He was a great devotee of Vishnu. And then he has to take this form. So once you have to do just Jaya Vijaya also. This is also enactment of Krishna's pastime. Jaya Vijaya, why they have to stop the Sanat Kumaras. So everything Krishna enacts so that whatever statements of Bhagavatam is enacted in the form of pastime so that people can understand the greatness, the supremacy and greatness of Krishna, and then started worshipping him with awe and reverence, with love. Some or other, they have to get attracted because our existence in the material world has no value. Because we are temporarily here and we suffer this material world if you don't hear this pastime. Because this can only purify us, purify the soul to understand the greatness of the Lord. If you go to spiritual also, these pastimes are enacted. In the Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan also these pastimes are. At that time, no need for Bhagavatam verse. You will know already, you know. So you release this pastime so wonderfully. Krishna, it has to be a pastime. He has to enact. If it doesn't enact, then we cannot understand. It is the Golok Vrindavan or the Bulok Vrindavan. Everything is same. That Krishna does it. It's only really, if you see the core of it, it is purely pastime of Krishna. And then if you go to the root cause, why the world is created? Because we have rebelled against him. And that's why this world should not be created. Krishna feels so much sorry why to create this material world. Krishna doesn't want to create. Everyone would have happy in the spiritual world. Why we have to come? Because we have revolted against Krishna. And therefore we have to create the material world. And to create the material world and to understand his supremacy, he has to enact all these pastimes. Ultimately, if you see, root cause of all this because of us. Because we want to rebel against Krishna, and then Krishna wants to establish supremacy because we have forgotten him and we have come to this material world. And that's how it works. Okay? Hope this satisfies. There is no other reason. As far my limited knowledge goes, I don't have any other reason why the fire has to burn, why the forest fire has to come, and why this Trinavarta has to come as a demon. Okay? And frankly speaking, in the case of Trinavarta, he could not touch any of the Gopas and Gopis. So Krishna made a pastime very wonderfully. That's what we discussed. Yashoda went inside, and the Gopis were not there. The Trinavarta only took Krishna. Krishna ensured. Only thing is they were separated from Krishna. Krishna was separated from them, but never it affected them very badly. They know some devil has come, has taken away Krishna. They were worried about Krishna only. They were not worried about themselves at that time because they were worried about the protection of Krishna. Krishna was taken away by them. So that's what the real pastime of Trinavarta. That's what we understand. Okay. Very good question. Excellent question.
Thank you.
Very. My limited knowledge I've answered.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
We'll stop here now. It's already 10:30. 9:10 now. We have to stop.
Thank you very much for nice class. Any takeaway from any of the devotees they can share? We'll close. Any takeaway for the verse? He gave such a wonderful class for half hours.
Prabhuji, any announcement is there? Because I think it's a bit late, so devotees are having short of time, it seems.
No announcement to make.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, bro. Thank you, Sajan Prabhu. Thank you very much for giving such nice realizations. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dandapura.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, Ekadashi announcement.
9th, I think. It is similar to Chennai. I don't know. 9th, I think.
Let us see. I will check the calendar.
Yeah, okay. I think it is 9th in India. I don't know about Abu Dhabi. There may be some changes.
Yeah, 9th, Prabhu. 9th in Abu Dhabi also.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji.
हरे वो वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च
Asundubhenshu Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Anantapuri Vaishnava.
Thank you, Girdhari Prabhuji. Thank you, Sajjan Prabhuji. Thank you, all devotees. At least new in idea, which really motivates for online Mangalarti. It's very nice. Thank you so much for giving the seva.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Only
online
missing
Mangalarti is-
devotees for the prasadam. That is a big part which we are missing now.
We are
Yeah.
coming, Prabhuji.